When we say that a woman is comfortable with her own desire, we mean that she understands her feelings and accepts them without shame. She knows what she likes, what makes her feel close to someone, and what kind of affection feels right to her. This comfort does not appear overnight. It often grows over time through life experiences, self-reflection, and learning to trust herself. A woman who is connected to her own desire does not feel confused or guilty about wanting intimacy. Instead, she sees it as a natural and healthy part of being human. Because she understands herself, she does not rely on outside approval to decide how she should feel. Her sense of desire comes from within, not from pressure or expectations. Being comfortable with desire also means that she feels safe in her own body. She does not constantly criticize herself or compare herself to unrealistic standards. While everyone may have moments of insecurity, she does not let those feelings control her. She accepts that she is not perfect, and she does not need to be perfect to give or receive affection. This self-acceptance creates a calm and steady energy. When she shares intimacy, it feels natural because she is not trying to prove anything. She is simply expressing what she already feels inside. Her confidence makes the experience more genuine and more meaningful. Women who genuinely enjoy giving pleasure often do so because it brings them happiness to see someone they care about feeling good. Their enjoyment is not forced. It is not something they feel they have to do. Instead, it is a choice that comes from affection and emotional closeness. When someone is comfortable with her own desire, she understands that pleasure can be mutual. Giving affection can be just as fulfilling as receiving it. She feels empowered by her ability to connect and to share warmth with someone she trusts. This empowerment makes her actions sincere rather than mechanical. Another important part of being comfortable with desire is emotional awareness. Emotional awareness means she can recognize her feelings and talk about them honestly. If she wants closeness, she can say so. If she needs space, she can express that too. She does not hide her needs out of fear of judgment. This honesty builds strong relationships because her partner does not have to guess what she is feeling. Clear communication reduces misunderstandings and helps both people feel respected. When a woman feels heard and understood, she is more likely to enjoy giving affection because the connection feels balanced and safe. Women who act from confidence rather than obligation often set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are limits that protect emotional and physical well-being. A woman who knows her own desires also knows when something does not feel right. She does not agree to intimacy out of guilt, fear, or social pressure. She understands that real pleasure cannot exist without willingness. By respecting her own boundaries, she also teaches others to respect them. This mutual respect creates a foundation where giving pleasure becomes an act of trust rather than duty. Societal expectations can sometimes confuse people about desire. Some cultures send mixed messages about what women should want or how they should behave. A woman who is comfortable with her own desire learns to separate her true feelings from outside noise. She understands that her worth is not defined by stereotypes or rigid roles. She allows herself to feel what she genuinely feels. This freedom from outside pressure makes her expressions of affection more authentic. She is not performing a role. She is being herself. Confidence plays a key role in this dynamic. Confidence does not mean arrogance or selfishness. It means she feels secure in who she is. She does not depend entirely on someone else to validate her attractiveness or value. Because she already feels worthy, she can give affection freely, without fear of losing herself. Her giving does not come from insecurity. It comes from abundance. She feels emotionally full, so sharing becomes easy and joyful. Trust is also deeply connected to comfort with desire. When a woman trusts herself, she is better able to trust others. Trust allows vulnerability, and vulnerability allows deeper intimacy. She does not feel the need to hide her true self. Instead, she can relax and be present in the moment. Being present means she is not distracted by worries about how she looks or whether she is doing things right. She focuses on the connection and the shared experience. This presence makes intimacy feel more meaningful and alive. Self-awareness often grows through experience and reflection. A woman who has taken time to understand her emotional patterns, strengths, and fears is usually more at ease with her desires. She might have learned from past relationships what feels healthy and what does not. She may have worked through insecurities or challenges. This personal growth strengthens her sense of identity. When someone knows who they are, their actions become more aligned with their true feelings. Giving pleasure then becomes an extension of her authentic self rather than a performance. It is also important to understand that enjoying giving pleasure does not mean neglecting oneself. A woman who is connected to her desire understands that mutual care is important. She values reciprocity. While she may genuinely enjoy making someone else happy, she also expects her own needs to matter. This balance prevents resentment and keeps the relationship healthy. When both partners feel valued, intimacy becomes a shared exchange rather than a one-sided effort. Comfort with desire can also create emotional warmth. When someone feels free to express affection without fear, their energy often feels open and inviting. This openness can strengthen emotional bonds. It encourages honesty and kindness. A woman who is at ease with her feelings may find it easier to express love through touch, words, or thoughtful actions. Her gestures feel natural because they are not forced. This natural expression can deepen trust and emotional closeness over time. Another sign of comfort with desire is patience. She does not rush intimacy or feel pressured to meet unrealistic timelines. She allows connections to develop at a pace that feels right. This patience shows that she values emotional depth rather than quick validation. Because she is secure within herself, she does not need constant reassurance. She understands that meaningful intimacy grows through understanding and shared experiences. Woman who is comfortable with her own desire often inspires confidence in others. When someone expresses themselves honestly and calmly, it can encourage their partner to do the same. This mutual openness can strengthen the relationship. It creates a space where both people feel accepted. In such an environment, giving pleasure becomes a joyful expression of closeness rather than a source of anxiety. In simple terms, being comfortable with one's own desire means knowing yourself, accepting yourself, and trusting yourself. It means understanding that desire is not something to hide or feel ashamed of. Instead, it is part of human connection. When a woman genuinely enjoys giving pleasure, it usually comes from emotional security, self-respect, and love. She is not acting because she feels she must. She acts because she wants to share closeness and affection. This kind of comfort creates authenticity. Authenticity means being real and honest. When intimacy is authentic, it feels deeper and more meaningful. There is less confusion and less fear. There is more trust and warmth. A woman who is secure in her own feelings can express affection with clarity. She can say yes when she means yes and no when she means no. This clarity protects her well-being and strengthens the relationship. Over time, this self-connection can lead to stronger emotional bonds. Relationships built on honesty and mutual desire tend to feel more stable. When both partners respect each other's feelings and boundaries, intimacy becomes a shared journey. Giving pleasure becomes one of many ways to express care and closeness. It is not about obligation or performance. It is about shared joy and emotional connection. Ultimately, comfort with desire is about freedom. It is the freedom to feel, to express, and to connect without fear. It is the freedom to enjoy giving affection because it aligns with one's true self. When a woman reaches this level of comfort, her actions reflect confidence, kindness, and emotional awareness. This creates intimacy that is warm, respectful, and genuine. When we say that some women experience emotional fulfillment through giving, we mean that their happiness does not come only from what they receive, but also from what they share. For them, giving pleasure is not just about the physical side of a relationship. It is deeply connected to feelings, emotions, and closeness. They feel satisfied when they see their partner smile, relax, or feel appreciated. That emotional response becomes meaningful to them. It is not about losing themselves or ignoring their own needs. Instead, it is about feeling emotionally connected through the act of caring. The joy they feel comes from knowing that they contributed to someone else's happiness in a loving and willing way. Emotional fulfillment through giving often begins with empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and feel what another person is experiencing. A woman who has strong empathy may naturally feel happy when someone she loves feels good. When her partner feels valued and satisfied, she senses that positive emotion and shares in it. This shared happiness strengthens her own emotional state. It becomes a cycle of positivity. She gives affection, her partner responds with joy or gratitude, and that response brings her deeper emotional satisfaction. This emotional exchange makes the relationship feel alive and connected. For many women, emotional bonding is a key part of intimacy. Physical closeness without emotional connection can sometimes feel empty. But when affection is tied to trust and love, it feels meaningful. Giving pleasure becomes a way to communicate care without always using words. It says, "I see you, I value you, I want you to feel good." This silent communication builds trust over time. Trust grows when both people feel safe, respected, and appreciated. When trust is strong, the relationship becomes more secure and stable. Women who feel emotionally fulfilled through giving often see intimacy as a shared experience rather than a performance. They are not trying to impress or meet unrealistic standards. Instead, they focus on the emotional connection. They enjoy the closeness, the shared energy, and the sense of unity. This makes the experience feel warm and genuine. Because their motivation comes from love and connection, the giving feels natural and not forced. They are present in the moment, aware of their partner's reactions, and emotionally engaged. Another important part of emotional fulfillment is feeling valued in return. When a woman gives affection and sees appreciation in her partner's response, it reinforces her sense of worth. She feels seen and important. That appreciation might be shown through kind words, gentle gestures, or emotional openness. These small signs of gratitude make a big difference. They tell her that her effort matters. Feeling appreciated strengthens her desire to continue giving because it confirms that the connection is mutual and respectful. Emotional fulfillment through giving is also connected to identity. Some women see themselves as nurturing, caring, or supportive individuals. Giving affection aligns with how they see themselves. When their actions match their values, they feel balanced and whole. This alignment between action and identity brings inner peace. It does not mean they exist only to care for others. It simply means that caring is part of who they are. When they express that part of themselves, they feel authentic. Communication plays a large role in this dynamic. Women who feel emotionally fulfilled through giving usually communicate openly with their partners. They talk about feelings, needs, and boundaries. This honesty creates safety. When both partners understand each other, giving affection feels easier and more enjoyable. There is less confusion and less fear of misunderstanding. Clear communication allows intimacy to grow naturally because both people know they are respected. It is also important to understand that emotional fulfillment does not mean self-sacrifice. A healthy relationship requires balance. A woman who enjoys giving pleasure still needs her own needs met. She feels happiest when the relationship is reciprocal. Reciprocity means that both partners give and receive. When she feels cared for and supported, she has more emotional energy to share. This balance prevents exhaustion and resentment. It keeps the relationship strong and fair. For many women, giving pleasure strengthens emotional bonding because it creates shared memories. Intimate moments become part of the couple's story. These memories build a sense of closeness over time. When couples look back on experiences filled with trust and affection, it deepens their attachment. The act of giving becomes part of a larger emotional journey they share together. This shared journey creates a feeling of partnership. Emotional fulfillment through giving is also linked to vulnerability. Vulnerability means allowing oneself to be open and emotionally exposed. When a woman gives affection with genuine care, she is showing a part of her heart. She is trusting her partner with her emotions. If that trust is respected, it strengthens the bond. Vulnerability creates intimacy because it removes emotional walls. When both partners are open, the connection becomes deeper and more meaningful. Many women also feel empowered by their ability to bring happiness to someone they love. This empowerment does not come from control, it comes from connection. Knowing that they can positively influence their partner's emotional state makes them feel capable and valued. It reinforces their importance in the relationship. This sense of importance adds to their emotional fulfillment. Another factor is emotional security. When a woman feels safe in her relationship, she can give freely without fear. She does not worry about being judged or rejected. Emotional security allows her to relax and enjoy the moment. This relaxation makes the giving feel more genuine. Anxiety often blocks emotional connection, but safety encourages it. A secure relationship creates space for both partners to explore closeness in a healthy way. Women who experience emotional fulfillment through giving often understand that intimacy is about connection, not perfection. They are not focused on being flawless. They are focused on sharing warmth and affection. This mindset reduces pressure and increases enjoyment. Because they are not trying to meet unrealistic expectations, they can stay present and emotionally engaged. Gratitude also plays an important role. When partners express appreciation for each other, emotional bonds grow stronger. A simple thank you, a loving look, or a gentle touch can confirm that the giving is meaningful. Gratitude creates positive reinforcement. It encourages continued kindness and affection. Over time, this pattern builds a culture of respect and care within the relationship. It is worth noting that emotional fulfillment through giving may develop from past experiences. Some women may have learned from healthy family relationships that caring strengthens bonds. Others may have grown through personal reflection and realized that sharing affection makes them feel emotionally alive. Each person's journey is unique. What matters is that the giving comes from genuine desire, not pressure. The emotional aspect of giving pleasure also strengthens intimacy because it creates mutual understanding. Partners learn about each other's needs, preferences, and emotional responses. This knowledge builds closeness. Understanding someone deeply makes them feel valued. When a woman sees her partner feeling happy and emotionally satisfied, she feels connected to that happiness. It becomes shared joy rather than separate experiences. Over time, this emotional exchange builds resilience in the relationship. Couples who bond emotionally during intimate moments often handle challenges better. The trust and closeness they build create a strong foundation. When difficulties arise, they remember the warmth and connection they share. This memory strengthens their commitment to each other. In simple terms, emotional fulfillment through giving means that the act of caring brings emotional happiness. It is not just about physical sensation. It is about feeling close, valued, and connected. Women who experience this type of fulfillment often see intimacy as a language of love. Through their actions, they express affection, loyalty, and trust. The giving becomes meaningful because it reflects their genuine feelings. When both partners understand and appreciate this dynamic, the relationship grows stronger. Emotional fulfillment becomes a shared experience. Giving and receiving blend together into a cycle of care. Each person feels important and respected. This mutual respect creates lasting intimacy. Ultimately, women who feel emotionally fulfilled through giving are usually acting from a place of love, empathy, and security. Their joy comes from connection. They are not losing themselves in the process. They are expressing who they are in a healthy and balanced way. The emotional bond created through giving becomes one of the strongest parts of the relationship. It brings warmth, trust, and lasting closeness that goes far beyond the physical moment. When we talk about a woman feeling safe and secure in a relationship, we are talking about emotional safety. Emotional safety means she feels protected, respected, and valued. She does not feel afraid of being judged, criticized, or rejected for being herself. She knows that her partner cares about her feelings and will not intentionally hurt her. This sense of security creates a strong foundation in the relationship. Without emotional safety, it is very difficult for anyone to fully open up. But when safety is present, intimacy can grow naturally and comfortably. Feeling safe in a relationship starts with respect. Respect means that both partners treat each other with kindness and consideration. A woman who feels respected knows that her opinions matter. She knows her boundaries will not be ignored. She knows that if she says no, her partner will listen. Respect builds trust, and trust builds security. When trust is strong, fear becomes smaller. She does not have to constantly worry about being misunderstood or dismissed. This calm feeling allows her to relax and be herself. Appreciation is another important part of emotional security. When a woman feels appreciated, she feels seen and valued. Appreciation can be shown through simple words like "thank you" or "I care about you." It can also be shown through actions, like listening carefully or offering support during difficult times. These small acts send a powerful message: you matter to me. When she feels that she matters, she becomes more confident in the relationship. Confidence makes it easier to express affection and intimacy. Security also grows when there is honesty. In a healthy relationship, both partners communicate openly. They do not hide important feelings or lie about serious matters. Honesty creates predictability. When a woman knows that her partner is truthful, she feels stable. She does not have to guess what is really happening. This stability reduces anxiety. Without anxiety, her mind and body can relax. Relaxation is important for enjoying closeness and intimacy. Emotional safety allows a woman to be expressive. When she does not fear judgment, she can share her thoughts, feelings, and desires openly. She does not hold back because she is worried about being criticized. She can say what makes her happy and what makes her uncomfortable. This openness strengthens intimacy because both partners understand each other better. When feelings are shared honestly, misunderstandings become less common. Clear understanding builds deeper connection. Fear can block intimacy. If a woman feels that she might be judged or rejected, she may close herself off emotionally. She might become quiet about her needs. She might avoid expressing affection freely. This is a natural protective response. Human beings protect themselves when they feel unsafe. But when she feels secure, this protective wall slowly comes down. She becomes more open, more relaxed, and more connected. Emotional security removes the need for constant self-protection. A secure relationship also provides consistency. Consistency means that a partner behaves in a stable and predictable way. He does not switch between kindness and coldness without reason. He does not create confusion through mixed signals. When behavior is consistent, it creates reliability. Reliability builds trust over time. Trust makes a woman feel grounded. She does not feel like the relationship could suddenly disappear without warning. This steady feeling helps her feel safe enough to enjoy intimacy fully. Feeling secure also means knowing that mistakes will not destroy the relationship. Everyone makes mistakes. In a healthy relationship, mistakes are discussed calmly and respectfully. There is forgiveness and understanding. When a woman knows that she can make small errors without facing harsh punishment or emotional withdrawal, she feels more comfortable being vulnerable. Vulnerability is essential for deep intimacy. Without vulnerability, closeness remains shallow. Emotional security reduces anxiety. Anxiety often comes from uncertainty or fear of rejection. If a woman constantly worries about whether she is good enough, attractive enough, or lovable enough, she will struggle to relax during intimate moments. But when she feels secure, those worries become quieter. She knows she is accepted. She knows she is wanted. This knowledge allows her to be present in the moment rather than trapped in negative thoughts. Another key part of feeling safe is emotional support. When a woman faces challenges, whether at work, with family, or within herself, a supportive partner listens and cares. Support does not always mean solving the problem. Sometimes it simply means being there. When she knows her partner stands beside her during difficult times, her sense of security deepens. She feels less alone. This emotional partnership strengthens trust and closeness. Security also grows from healthy boundaries. Boundaries protect emotional and physical well-being. A woman who feels safe knows her boundaries will be respected. She does not fear pressure or manipulation. She does not feel forced into situations that make her uncomfortable. This respect creates freedom. When she chooses intimacy, it feels voluntary and joyful. Choice is very important. True intimacy cannot exist without free choice. In a secure relationship, communication about intimacy is open and kind. Both partners talk about preferences, comfort levels, and desires without shame. This reduces confusion and prevents hurt feelings. When a woman feels that her voice matters in these conversations, she feels empowered. Empowerment strengthens emotional safety. She knows she has control over her own body and decisions. Feeling safe also means feeling emotionally prioritized. This does not mean being the only important thing in someone's life. It means knowing that her partner makes time and effort for the relationship. When she sees consistent effort, she feels valued. This sense of value reinforces security. She understands that the relationship is important to both of them. Emotional security encourages playfulness and joy. When fear is absent, lightness can enter. Couples who feel safe with each other often laugh together and share spontaneous affection. Playfulness strengthens bonds because it creates positive shared experiences. These positive experiences become emotional memories that strengthen trust over time. A woman who feels secure is more likely to express her true personality. She does not feel the need to pretend or perform. She can be serious, silly, thoughtful, or passionate without fear. Authentic expression deepens intimacy because her partner gets to know the real her. Authenticity builds stronger emotional connection than any performance ever could. Security also protects against jealousy and insecurity. While small moments of jealousy can happen in any relationship, strong emotional safety reduces constant suspicion. When trust is solid, she does not constantly fear betrayal. This peace of mind allows her to focus on building closeness rather than guarding herself from imagined threats. Physical intimacy is deeply connected to emotional state. The body responds differently when the mind feels safe. Stress and fear can create tension. Safety creates relaxation. When a woman feels emotionally secure, her body is more comfortable. She can enjoy closeness without feeling tense or guarded. Emotional and physical comfort often support each other. Feeling secure also means knowing that disagreements will not lead to abandonment. Healthy couples argue sometimes, but they resolve conflicts respectfully. If a woman knows that conflict does not mean the relationship will end, she feels more stable. Stability supports emotional openness. She does not hide her feelings to avoid conflict. Instead, she communicates honestly. Time strengthens security. Emotional safety is not built in one day. It grows through repeated experiences of respect, honesty, and care. Each positive interaction adds another layer of trust. Over time, this trust becomes strong and dependable. The longer a couple consistently treats each other well, the deeper the sense of security becomes. A secure woman does not feel the need to compete for affection. She trusts her place in the relationship. This calm confidence allows her to focus on connection rather than comparison. Comparison often creates insecurity, but trust reduces it. When she feels chosen and valued, her heart feels steady. It is important to remember that emotional security benefits both partners. When a woman feels safe, she contributes warmth and openness to the relationship. Her partner also feels more secure in response. Security can become mutual. Each person's trust strengthens the other's. This shared safety creates a powerful emotional bond. In simple terms, when a woman feels safe and secure, she can relax. When she relaxes, she can open up. When she opens up, intimacy becomes deeper and more meaningful. Emotional safety removes fear, judgment, and anxiety. It replaces them with trust, appreciation, and connection. This safe environment allows her to express affection freely and genuinely. Ultimately, emotional security is one of the most important foundations of a healthy relationship. It creates space for honesty, vulnerability, and love. When a woman feels respected, appreciated, and secure, she is more likely to enjoy intimacy in a healthy and balanced way. Her openness comes from confidence and trust, not pressure. This kind of security builds relationships that are stable, warm, and lasting. When we say that women who enjoy giving pleasure communicate openly, we are talking about the importance of honest and clear conversation in a relationship. Communication is the foundation of understanding. Without it, even people who care deeply about each other can feel confused or disconnected. A woman who values communication understands that intimacy is not just about actions. It is also about words, feelings, and shared understanding. She knows that talking openly about thoughts, needs, and boundaries makes the relationship stronger and more satisfying for both partners. Open communication begins with comfort. A woman who communicates well usually feels comfortable expressing herself. She does not feel ashamed of her feelings or afraid to speak about them. She understands that her voice matters. This confidence allows her to talk about what she enjoys and what she does not enjoy. She sees these conversations as healthy and necessary, not awkward or embarrassing. Because she is comfortable talking, misunderstandings are less likely to grow. Honesty is a key part of open communication. Honest communication does not mean being harsh or hurtful. It means speaking truthfully with kindness and respect. When a woman honestly shares her likes and dislikes, she helps her partner understand her better. This honesty also encourages her partner to share their own feelings. When both people speak openly, the connection becomes deeper. They are not guessing or assuming. They are learning directly from each other. Discussing boundaries is another important part of communication. Boundaries are personal limits that protect emotional and physical well-being. A woman who communicates openly understands that boundaries are healthy, not selfish. She feels safe enough to say what feels comfortable and what does not. This clarity prevents pressure and confusion. When boundaries are respected, trust grows. Trust creates a safe environment where both partners can relax and enjoy closeness without fear. Expectations are also important to talk about. In any relationship, people have expectations about time, attention, affection, and intimacy. If these expectations are not discussed, they can lead to disappointment. A woman who values communication will talk about what she hopes for in the relationship. She will listen to her partner's expectations as well. When expectations are shared, both people can adjust and meet in the middle. This balance creates fairness and satisfaction. Open communication improves emotional connection. When two people talk honestly, they feel closer. Sharing feelings creates vulnerability, and vulnerability strengthens bonds. A woman who communicates openly may share not only what she enjoys, but also what she fears or worries about. This openness invites emotional intimacy. Her partner feels trusted and valued. Emotional closeness makes physical intimacy more meaningful because it is supported by understanding and care. Good communication also reduces anxiety. When someone is unsure about their partner's thoughts or feelings, it can create stress. Clear conversations remove uncertainty. A woman who talks openly about what she likes gives her partner guidance. Her partner does not have to guess or worry about doing something wrong. This clarity creates confidence for both people. Confidence leads to a more relaxed and satisfying experience. Listening is just as important as speaking. Women who value communication understand that listening shows respect. They pay attention to their partner's words and feelings. They ask questions when something is unclear. This active listening strengthens mutual understanding. When both partners feel heard, they feel important. Feeling important builds emotional security in the relationship. Another benefit of open communication is growth. Relationships change over time. Feelings, preferences, and circumstances may shift. A woman who communicates openly understands that conversations should continue as the relationship grows. She does not assume that everything will always stay the same. Instead, she checks in with her partner. These ongoing discussions keep the relationship flexible and healthy. Communication also helps resolve conflict. Disagreements are normal in any relationship. What matters is how they are handled. A woman who values communication will address problems calmly instead of ignoring them. She expresses concerns without attacking. She focuses on solutions rather than blame. This mature approach to conflict builds trust. It shows that the relationship is strong enough to handle challenges. Open communication builds equality. When both partners share their feelings and needs, the relationship becomes balanced. No one person controls the direction of intimacy. Decisions are made together. This teamwork strengthens connection. A woman who speaks openly shows that she sees the relationship as a partnership. She respects her partner's voice and expects the same respect in return. Comfort discussing intimacy also shows emotional maturity. Emotional maturity means understanding one's own feelings and handling them responsibly. A woman who can calmly talk about what she enjoys or does not enjoy demonstrates self-awareness. She does not avoid important topics because they feel uncomfortable. Instead, she approaches them with honesty and care. This maturity creates a stable and trusting environment. Communication can also increase pleasure and satisfaction. When partners understand each other clearly, they can meet each other's needs more effectively. There is less frustration and more harmony. A woman who communicates her preferences gives her partner the opportunity to respond in a way that feels good for both of them. This mutual understanding leads to shared satisfaction. Respectful communication includes tone and timing. A woman who communicates openly chooses moments that feel appropriate and private. She speaks in a gentle and thoughtful way. This makes her partner more receptive. Communication is not just about what is said, but how it is said. Kind delivery strengthens connection instead of creating tension. Trust grows stronger with every honest conversation. Each time she shares something personal and receives understanding in return, her confidence in the relationship increases. This positive cycle deepens emotional intimacy. Over time, communication becomes easier and more natural. What once felt awkward may begin to feel normal and comfortable. Open communication also encourages feedback. Feedback is not criticism. It is information that helps improve mutual understanding. A woman who values communication welcomes gentle feedback from her partner. She understands that learning about each other is part of growth. This openness to learning keeps the relationship dynamic and responsive. Clear communication can prevent resentment. When feelings are not expressed, they can build up inside. Over time, this can create distance. A woman who speaks openly prevents small issues from becoming large problems. She addresses concerns early when they are easier to solve. This proactive approach keeps the relationship healthy. Patience is important in communication. Sometimes it takes time to fully understand each other. A woman who values communication does not rush these conversations. She allows space for reflection and thoughtful responses. This patience shows respect for the emotional process. Communication also strengthens emotional safety. When a woman knows she can speak freely without being judged, she feels secure. When her partner responds with care and understanding, that security deepens. Emotional safety allows intimacy to flourish. Without fear of criticism, she can be authentic and expressive. In simple terms, open communication is about honesty, respect, listening, and understanding. Women who enjoy giving pleasure often see communication as a tool that strengthens connection. They understand that talking about feelings, likes, dislikes, boundaries, and expectations creates clarity. Clarity reduces confusion and builds trust. When both partners communicate openly, intimacy becomes a shared journey. It is guided by mutual understanding rather than guesswork. Each person feels valued and respected. This respect creates comfort. Comfort allows openness. Openness strengthens connection. Ultimately, communication is one of the strongest pillars of a healthy relationship. It supports emotional closeness, trust, and satisfaction. A woman who communicates openly is not only expressing her desires, she is building a bridge of understanding between herself and her partner. That bridge allows intimacy to feel safe, fulfilling, and deeply connected for both people. When we say that some women see intimacy as mutual and not one-sided, we mean that they understand relationships work best when both people give and receive. Even if they truly enjoy giving pleasure, they do not believe that intimacy should only flow in one direction. They know that a healthy relationship is built on balance. Giving and receiving are both important. Their happiness does not come from ignoring their own needs. Instead, it comes from sharing experiences where both partners feel valued, satisfied, and connected. A woman who sees intimacy as mutual understands that her needs matter just as much as her partner's needs. She does not think that love means sacrifice without limit. She believes that real closeness grows when both people care for each other equally. When she gives affection, she does so because she wants to, not because she feels she must. At the same time, she feels comfortable receiving affection. She does not feel guilty for wanting pleasure or attention. She sees it as natural and healthy. Mutual intimacy creates balance. Balance means that no one feels drained or ignored. In a one-sided situation, one partner may feel tired, unappreciated, or emotionally distant over time. But when intimacy is shared, both partners feel energized and connected. A woman who values mutual exchange understands this. She knows that long-term happiness depends on fairness and reciprocity. Reciprocity means that kindness and affection flow both ways. Seeing intimacy as mutual also shows self-respect. Self-respect means valuing your own feelings and boundaries. A woman who respects herself will not allow her needs to disappear in a relationship. She understands that her emotional and physical comfort is important. When she communicates her needs clearly, she strengthens the relationship. Her partner learns how to care for her in meaningful ways. This mutual understanding deepens trust. Mutual intimacy is built on communication. Both partners talk openly about what they enjoy and what makes them feel loved. A woman who believes in shared exchange will express her desires honestly. She will also listen carefully to her partner's desires. This open conversation creates clarity. There is less guessing and more understanding. When both people feel heard, intimacy becomes more satisfying. Emotional connection plays a big role in mutual intimacy. When two people care about each other's happiness, they naturally want to give and receive. A woman who sees intimacy as shared often feels joy not only in giving, but also in experiencing pleasure together. She understands that closeness grows stronger when both partners are fully present and engaged. This shared presence makes the experience deeper and more meaningful. Mutual intimacy also reduces pressure. In a one-sided dynamic, one person may feel responsible for carrying the emotional or physical connection alone. This can create stress. But when both partners actively participate, the responsibility is shared. A woman who believes in reciprocity feels supported. She knows she is not alone in maintaining closeness. This support makes the relationship feel lighter and more joyful. Trust is another key part of mutual intimacy. Trust grows when both people consistently show care and respect. When a woman feels that her partner values her happiness as much as his own, she feels secure. Security allows her to open up more fully. She does not feel used or overlooked. Instead, she feels appreciated and equal. Equality strengthens emotional bonds. Seeing intimacy as mutual also means understanding that pleasure is richer when shared. When both partners focus on each other's happiness, the experience becomes cooperative rather than competitive. It is not about who gives more or who receives more. It is about enjoying the connection together. This shared enjoyment creates harmony. Healthy boundaries support mutual exchange. A woman who values reciprocity will speak up if something feels unfair. She will not quietly accept imbalance for long periods. She understands that unspoken resentment can harm a relationship. By addressing concerns early, she protects both herself and the partnership. Honest conversations about balance keep intimacy healthy. Mutual intimacy also builds emotional resilience. When challenges arise, couples who share responsibility often handle them better. Because both partners invest emotionally, they both feel committed to solving problems. A woman who believes in shared exchange does not carry emotional burdens alone. She expects teamwork. This teamwork strengthens long-term stability. Another important part of mutual intimacy is appreciation. When both partners express gratitude for each other's efforts, they feel valued. A woman who gives affection and receives appreciation feels motivated to continue nurturing the relationship. At the same time, she expresses gratitude for what her partner gives her. This cycle of appreciation deepens closeness. Self-awareness is also important. A woman who sees intimacy as mutual understands her own desires clearly. She does not pretend to be satisfied if she is not. She recognizes that honesty about her needs is necessary for real connection. This honesty prevents misunderstandings and builds authenticity in the relationship. Mutual intimacy encourages emotional vulnerability from both sides. When both partners share openly, they create deeper trust. A woman who values reciprocity will encourage her partner to express his feelings as well. She understands that true closeness requires emotional openness from both people. Over time, shared intimacy strengthens the sense of partnership. The couple begins to see themselves as a team rather than two separate individuals. Their experiences of giving and receiving blend into shared memories. These memories build emotional history, which reinforces their bond. In simple terms, seeing intimacy as mutual means understanding that relationships thrive on balance. Giving is meaningful, but receiving is just as important. A woman who enjoys giving pleasure does not lose herself in the process. She expects care, respect, and affection in return. Her satisfaction comes from shared joy, not self-denial. When intimacy is mutual, both partners feel important. No one feels invisible or taken for granted. Each person contributes to the emotional and physical connection. This shared effort builds trust, appreciation, and long-term happiness. Ultimately, mutual intimacy creates a strong and healthy relationship. It allows both partners to feel secure, valued, and fulfilled. A woman who believes in reciprocity understands that love is not about sacrifice without return. It is about sharing warmth, pleasure, and emotional closeness in a balanced and respectful way. This balanced exchange creates deeper satisfaction and lasting connection for both people.